What did you learn at Ohio State, and what are you working on this week as you go into the home stretch of the regular season here?
Well, I mean, I really feel that we played pretty well against Ohio State. It's just, you know, they remind me a little bit of us last year with their timely scoring, and, you know, we just had a hard time generating enough offense to beat them. I thought that both nights we had a chance to win. When we came back on Saturday night, I thought that we had a legitimate chance to, you know, go into the third and win that game. Both games basically were one-goal games. And we just, you know, right now is just against good teams with good goaltenders, good defensive teams with good goaltenders, we're having a hard time finishing. And we have to find a way to get over that hump because we're going to run into a lot of good teams as we finish the season here, the regular season, then into the playoffs. So, you know, it's important that we just rebound. You know, it was probably a good timing for the bye week. It's not a full bye week because we play Tuesday night, so we do have to practice on the weekend here to get ready for Michigan because they're playing this weekend, so we don't want to lose that little competitive edge that they may have an advantage on by playing Friday and Saturday night. So it's, you know, it's a little bit of a bye week. We have taken a couple additional days off, which I think is important just physically and mentally this time of the year, especially with school and just the grind of the season catching up to them. So the couple additional days hopefully help.
You got Morrison and Burke back last weekend. How'd they look to you? They kind of feeling their way through the weekend, you think?
I mean, Cal didn't miss as much as Cam, so I think Cal was a little bit in better physical shape for the games. I thought they both played okay. I mean, I thought that Cam scored a goal on Friday night and Cal scored a goal that was disallowed on Saturday night that I thought should have been allowed. But it was, you know, they both, I think that line gave us good minutes. You know, I had Jack Jenkins playing with the two of them. And that's a little bit, you know, that's kind of with the injuries and then with some of the chemistry of O'Leary with Malmquist, you know, I didn't want to break that line up. So it's like those two wingers all of a sudden, they don't have Malmquist up the middle anymore. So I think that certainly created some interesting situations as far as, you know, of that line being able to produce enough offensively. You know, Jack does a good job, but he may not be as offensively instinctive as a guy like Dylan. So it's a little bit more of it changes the dynamic of that line. Let's put it that way.
Are you health-wise doing okay?
Yeah, I'm just nagging stuff, you know, and that's why the additional days off hopefully help us get over some of that. Yeah, we still have some nagging injuries that are going on, but that's pretty typical for any team this time of the year.
My final question would be, now we're looking at the Paraways rankings and stuff like that. You see the teams moving up and down and stuff like that, where you guys are in the rankings. What do you think you need to do to, you know, get yourself in a good situation to solidify?
Well, all we have left is Big Ten games. So, you know, we did a pretty good job from a non-conference perspective. We need to find a way over these next 7 games to win. I mean, we have to win as many games in the Big Ten here to finish out the season as possible. It's probably a long shot to catch up to Ohio State in first place, but, you know, it'd be nice to the first 2 rounds of the playoffs to be at home. And, you know, we just have to take it one game right now at a time. I mean, we still have an advantage as far as one game in hand on a number of teams. That'll be the game Tuesday night. Some teams may bypass us this weekend, and we'll end up having 2 games in hand on. And then we just have to win those games, you know, and that way we can try to climb, you know, as high as possible in the standings, because that's, you know, that's going to impact pairwise down the road. So all we can do right now is focus on, you know, taking care of business Tuesday night. That's the most important game of our season.
Speaking on Tuesday night, how tough is a team like Michigan? I know you've already seen them this year. Just what's going to take to go against them?
Well, I think that, I mean, they're playing a lot better than what we saw when we played them in Ann Arbor. I thought that when they played us in the outdoor game, they showed us some stuff that we didn't see in the first time that we played them as far as their depth. I think that's where they're different than when we played them early in the year. I think their depth's better. their forward depth. Obviously, when we played them outdoors, they didn't have Hughes, and he's a big factor. So, I mean, they do I mean, they're not the old-fashioned Michigan teams anymore. They're not the old Red Berenson type of teams that were, you know, just all speed and flying. And they're more structured and they're more controlled defensively, especially in the neutral zone and their defensive zone. I mean, they're in a zone that they block a lot of shots, and that showed up when we played them at the stadium. And we're going to have to be prepared to try to find ways to get through these teams that play like that, because Ohio State played like that too. You know, we have some thoughts and strategy in that, but it's really about the players, you know, finding open people. And the other part is too, is like you can't block shots if you're trying to generate chances off a transition. You know, you have to try to be more effective, explosive offensively off a transition. So whether it's from, you know, our neutral zone defense or from defensive transition ourselves to transition offensively more successfully. I mean, we've worked on that a lot over the last several months, and, you know, we just have to hope that guys, you know, find a way to create scoring chances that they don't have to worry about getting shots blocked or you know, when we're in the offensive zone, is to try to, you know, to get them spread out a little bit to where we can, you know, get more pucks through and pucks to the net.
What about Wisconsin? What stands out to you?
You know, they're a team that's right on the cusp. You know, when we played them, I mean, you can see how much they're young. They're real young, but boy, they got a lot of skill and talent, and yeah, and they're dangerous because of that. I mean, you know, once that youth starts getting mature, I mean, they're going to be scary good. Especially some of the young defensemen that they have are really skilled and talented. But they've got some real high-end. I mean, all three teams that we're playing in the next week coming up here are going to be fast games because you're playing teams that got a lot of skill and speed. So I mean, they'll create a little different challenges than Michigan, but you know, we just have to right now just focus on Tuesday night. That's the most important thing for us.
Coach, can you talk about getting your team up for one, a midweek game, but two, playing Michigan in a setting that maybe doesn't have as much attention as that outdoor game?
Yeah, I mean, it's always Michigan, so there's always some excitement. You know, I'm not a big fan of midweek games just because you're in class all day, so your whole routine gets changed. Like you don't have a normal pregame meal, you don't have normal pregame meetings. You know, I thought we did a good job. Our guys did a good job when we played Northern Michigan on Tuesday night of getting themselves, you know, getting over here at some point in the morning and making sure that they get a stretch in, or, you know, some of them may be able to skate. But most of them on a Tuesday will have classes, and that's they'll have classes from 9:30 probably right through 1:45. So they have to try to, you know, they have to schedule a time to get, you know, food in their stomach and also try to hopefully cleanse their mind. You know, they usually probably get a pregame nap in. They'll have to, you know, that'll be a tight turnaround for them from the end of class, trying to get a pregame meal in and then play in the game. But I'm hoping that just the excitement of playing Michigan will be enough to get them, you know, back in the right frame of mind to be ready to go when we hit the ice Tuesday night.
Coach, you've talked a lot about just wanting to make sure your team's playing kind of their best hockey at the right time of the season. Now that you're kind of getting the guys back from injury and kind of now you have the kind of the team as a whole, can you kind of look back on those couple of weeks without those guys and kind of see it as a little bit of a positive that you were kind of forced to get other guys some experience? Yeah,
I mean, those 2 weeks were, I mean, I think starting, I mean, after the injury started happening, I think that our mindset changed a little bit, and I thought we started playing a little bit maybe the way we need to play to be successful. And I think that, you know, I thought that we played well over that 4-game stretch, and it certainly did make an impact to see guys like Cam Burks, you know, get more of an opportunity. Pierce Crawford, guys that maybe didn't play a lot, got an opportunity, and frankly, it created a line that, you know, that ended up being really productive for us. Just they had, you know, two of them, like O'Leary and Graham, had been together, but, you know, putting Malmquist there all of a sudden created a little bit of a different dynamic with that group, and and we found something, you know. Now we have to try to do the same thing with the two guys that were out injured, you know, is to see if we can find something with Cal Burke and Cam Morrison. And, you know, if we do that, then it gives us two pretty good offensive lines, and hopefully we can get some more production out of the freshman group, although we may kind of switch them around a little bit. They may be getting a little stale in the role they've been in. So, but I think that we have been playing pretty well, even at Ohio State. You know, there was just a couple different circumstances that both those games could have been tied, you know, going into overtime. So, but we have to find a way to get to that point. We have to find a way to win those type of games, and that's something against good teams, especially with good goaltenders, we have yet to do.